All right, hold on a second, everybody. Let me get both cameras going. My name is Karen. I am going to be your facilitator today. So excited to cook with you. A little bit of housekeeping, make sure everything is set to everyone so that we can share. Cameras is absolutely optional on this one. We do love seeing you cook along, but if you're in your pajamas, that is absolutely fine too. If you are new, please know I am not a professional chef. I am a home cook just like you. And we're actually going to experiment trying some different ways to get this corn and the silks off the cob today. Crystal, it's good to see you got here. Sue, I'm glad you're here. Known as her first one, that she's not like driving around in her mail truck. So we're super excited to have it. Now, I do want to let you know, as usual, if you've attended my socials before, in general, I do cook vegetarian, not necessarily vegan, but vegetarian. So I am making a substitute to use seitan instead of chicken. I eat chicken when someone else cooks me dinner, but it really grosses me out to touch it. I don't know. It's a weird kind of phobia thing. So this is what it is that I'm going to be using today. I also want to give a caveat that my little chihuahua will be running through at some point. My husband's taking him on a walk as we speak, so he'll probably run through. And then on sad news, my little rescue dog that I tried to foster was so anxious, the rescue said it probably wasn't a good fit. So it'll just be our sweet little Snickers coming to have a little piece of corn here and there. So if you've been with me in the last couple of socials and there's a dog at my side, that one is no longer here, but hopefully we'll find a good fit. It's better for her to be happy and loved than her anxious all the time. So, all right, moving forward. First thing we need to do is we need to make some rice. Yes, it will be good. Sneaky is doing great. He was a really good big brother, and we know he's going to be a fit for another brother or sister, and that's the really important thing. All right, so they don't talk about the rice at all. You can definitely use quinoa or farro or any kind of grain that it is that you want. I am going to use white rice because, I mean, it's delicious. And this is kind of like a splurge because, you know, this is kind of my date night thing that I do when I am cooking. So I'm taking you with me. My phone's on my tripod. Grabbing just plain old white rice. And as usual for my grains, I am using my Instapot. The Instapot makes everything just so much easier to deal with. So with rice and most grains, it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So I'm just using the cheap stuff. Let's get real about it. And you got me, oh, well, that was a little bit extra that fell outside of the measuring cup. Did you catch that? Whoops. Whoopsie. Okay, here we go. I'll just fill this one up a little less and it'll be fine. It'll be fine, right? Rice doesn't have to be perfect. No, I'm throwing rice all over the kitchen. It's a good thing my husband usually is the one who cleans up after this instead of me. All right, here we go. Now, I know a lot of people do enjoy adding a little salt to this, but yeah, we're celebrating. Let's throw salt in the air too. My husband is on a low sodium diet, so I'm going to keep the salt out, and I'm going to be doing a double batch today, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to put what's left over in the fridge, and I'm going to use it to make a simple fried rice for dinner for tomorrow night. So kind of a 2-for-1. So I'm just going to run and grab 4 cups of water, taking you with me to my sink. And then Maya is here stage managing with us. And since the chat is popping and I cannot see it on my phone, at any point she wants to come on camera, we welcome her.
Hey, everybody. Hope everybody's, I see a few people are cooking. I see Laura waving. I see Angela's back there. Kind of there. She's waving. Sarah's got her stuff going over there. And again, it's absolutely fine if you don't want to turn your cameras on. No worries. I see Candy is getting her camera angled there in the kitchen so she can cook along with us. Awesome. Awesome. Karen, I will say your other camera is angled straight at the ceiling. So I don't know if you want, no, that one's good. It's the other, I think it's the computer. There we go. That's better.
Okay.
I was like, well, your ceiling is lovely.
I have a lovely ceiling. I mean, I do have really nice, like one of the reasons I bought this house is I like the little globes over it. So I got my rice. I'm a mess today. What can I say? Don't know. we took the puppy back this morning, and then I had a nice relaxing facial. So this is me with just lipstick on. And then she told me that I have sun damage and need a peel. But apparently you don't get peels till winter when you live in California. So there you go. Has anybody ever had a peel done on their face before? So here we go. We're going to put this guy on rice, and then we leave it and forget it. All right. I make sure that it's not venting, and then I'm scooting it outside of my cabinets just so that the steam doesn't come up and ruin the paint. And then it's time for us to start prepping all the rest of our ingredients. All right. Messy bun getting the cooking done. Yes, absolutely. Didn't know about it being, I didn't know about being seasonal either. And the reason I ended up going to get a facial to begin with is I love supporting women-owned businesses. And it's one of the ladies who owns it comes to the Pilates studio and comes to my classes. So I was like, okay, well, that's cool. All right. So I don't have to worry about my chicken, really. I'm going to leave it till last. I am going to coat my cornstarch in this so it does get a crispy batter. That's really delicious on tofu as well. I think that this actual dish would be amazing with beef. I think any protein would be good. And you know what I think would be really yummy, though my husband wouldn't eat it, would be salmon. I think this dressing on a piece of salmon will be really good. Is anybody making substitutions to their proteins or otherwise? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start out with my shallots. And silly me bought one and not two, but thank goodness it's a hunker of one and I will be good with that.
I'd say that is a big shallot.
I know, I bought a big one. Yeah, I think shrimp would be delicious too.
Yeah, shrimp would be good.
Go wrong with this. So I do, when I get my shallots, really do press on them a bit because I don't know if it's me where I get my shallots, but a lot of time you will find mold inside. And so making sure it's nice and firm definitely reduces that. I guess nobody's making any substitution to their protein. I will say I am eliminating cilantro because my husband thinks it tastes like soap. Anybody else out there?
Yeah, that's one of those, that's a genetic thing. If you think it tastes like soap. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Nona's saying that one of the things she's found through HelloFresh is grilling cheese. Oh, halloumi. I love halloumi. I had never used it before until we moved to New Zealand, and it's very, very popular when they do sausage sizzles to barbecue up halloumi cheese. If you have not had it, it is absolutely beautiful, and it would be definitely delicious in it as well. Yeah, it does have a nice similar like it has a nice mouth feel and now nice bite to it. Kind of lemony and briny, and I definitely. And Sue says her husband doesn't like cilantro either. Yeah, I kind of be curious to know if the percentage of women versus men, if there's any kind of genetic, where more men taste like soap, because his mother likes it a lot. So I don't know. All right, I'm just kind of peeling off those little skins, and I'm going to slice these guys up. And let's see. We want to have our shallots. I should have looked before we started. We want our shallots. I'm just going to chop them. I'm going to not quite mince, but a fine chop. So I'm going to end up slicing through kind of like you would an onion, because this is a big boy here. And coming through. All my chopping sounds.
Do you tear up a lot when you cut onions or shallots?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I do. I've never found a solution. I've read all kinds of crazy things, but I think short of wearing swimming goggles, that it just depends on the onions. I do know if it's refrigerated, sometimes it's a little bit easier, but not much.
Oh, Evangeline, I would say Evangeline looked up the female versus male tastes soapy. 57% of females and 43% of males think it tastes soapy. So it does look like it's a little more on the female side.
I love that you looked that up. If you're cutting up shallots and get teary, I know that you can rinse. I was seeing what Nona said. You can rinse your knife with water so you don't get hit with the. Oh, that's a good tip. All right, I'm doing so far. I'm like, am I doing okay? Yeah, I think I'm doing okay so far.
Yeah.
All right. Is
Oh,
anybody else not in the middle of a heat wave? Because it's beautiful here in Northern California. The windows are open. So if you hear like, apparently there's been an ice cream dude when Maya and I were on the call yesterday for the dress rehearsal who was honking for like 20 minutes in the middle of our call. Oh, 20, let's see what the biggest percentage of who thinks. It looks like the Jewish community has the highest percentage of tasting soap. That's really interesting.
it is interesting.
Though that does not work for my husband. He is not Jewish. He's French Canadian.
And so Crystal says she's in Monterey and it's in the low 60s. I'm here in Denver, Colorado, and it is like 95. It's very hot today.
98 degrees. Sue, remind me where you're at again. You're in Texas. I can't remember where Sue's at.
Las Vegas.
Oh, well, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That would do it. All right.
That'll do it.
Shallot, and I just caught myself. You're not supposed to drag your knife. You use the edge of your knife to move things off the cutting board so it does not dull your knife. So if I'm on it enough Monday, I'm actually going to go and get my knife sharpened. They are well overdue.
Oh, Oklahoma, 2 to 3 weeks of 100+ degrees.
Oh, gosh.
95 in Connecticut.
Sarah, where in the Bay are you? Because I'm in Marin, just out of curiosity. All right. So we got that guy going. We need some garlic. Yeah, I'm sorry, all of you guys. Like those of you who are having heat waves, I just hope that you have air conditioning, because when we had those really bad fires about 3 years ago, right before COVID had just hit. I guess it's about 2 years ago. The sky went orange and it was really, really creepy. And it was 105 and none of us have air conditioning. So it was absolutely miserable because you couldn't open your windows because of the fire. It was horrible. Ooh, Devin's using her Pampered Chef stuff. How fun. I love it. 120. Oh my gosh. I don't even know what 120 would feel like.
I think I would just stay in the house.
Party.
Well, I know one of our other facilitators, Bailey, if you've ever taken a social with her, she lives in Tennessee and her air conditioning was out this week and it was super, I think it was like in the high 90s, 100 degree, and she was not doing well, but luckily they did manage to get the air conditioner person out there in the nick of time and get that fixed, but miserable.
You know, I can be cold much easier than I can be hot, honestly. But
yeah.
You know, different when it comes to that. So, all right, I'm taking those 4 cloves of garlic and I'm going to microplane them because, you know, I don't like chopping them. I am going to gently use the side of my knife to pop that skin off, but I don't want to push it too much because I want it to stay whole enough for me to be able to hold it, to grasp it to microplane. Oh, Sue's moving to Tennessee.
Yeah. Sue, I don't think it's always that hot there. So,
I mean, it is the South, so you know it is going to be hot. I had a beautiful summer actually in Tennessee. We were it wasn't a summer; it was a few weeks where we were driving before we moved to New Zealand. We road tripped with our 2 Chihuahuas with the top and doors off our Jeep from Austin, Texas to Rhode Island. And we had all our camping equipment and we spent some time in Tennessee camping and it was absolutely beautiful. I had no idea how beautiful that part of the country is. So green and lush and just, I don't know, it makes me think like steel magnolias kind of. All right, popping off the last skin. My hands are gonna smell great. I can rub them on stainless steel and do all those, rub them with lemon and salt. None of that stuff ever seems to work. I just smell like garlic.
It never works for me either. I always am smelling onion on my hands for days.
All right, gonna microplane these guys up. And you've heard, if you've been to one of our socials before, you know that we talked about the fact that when you microplane it is a little bit stronger of a flavor than a chop. And if I was doing this for a weeknight, oh, there's Snickers. Hi, baby.
Does he want some garlic?
Like, you don't get any garlic, dude. Let's do your little cameo. I don't have anything for you. Hi,
Sorry.
Sneaky. I sorry you don't eat garlic. You can eat the corn cobs when they fall off, okay?
He's all like, where are my vegetables?
He loves his vegetables. I don't know.
So cute.
It's because he doesn't get any other treats. Like carrots are his.
Mhm.
He loves broccoli stems. He does not like celery, and he's picky about what color pepper he will eat, which I think is weird because I don't think they taste that different.
It might be the bitter.
He likes bottoms of salad, very popular with him. Zucchini, he hates. He chews up little bits and then spits it all over the floor. And then we find the remains in his dog bed. And so it's like a vegetable graveyard.
Yeah, no zucchini.
No zucchini. You're not a fan, are you, dude? Sorry, you don't have to be. I prefer my zucchini like fried with cheese and stuff, so I feel them that way.
Let's see, they're saying if you want to get the onion smell off, you can take a cucumber without the peel and slide it along the areas of your hands that smell to extract it and then rinse it off. And then Sue posted a link. I was gonna look on the link and oh, that's so cute. There's like a little Sue posted this link to Gracula, a garlic crusher, and it's like a little Dracula, but it's you put the garlic in there. Oh my gosh, that's the cutest thing I've ever seen. You have to
I have to look that up after the social.
So you'll have to click on the link. It's very cute.
No, I know I've mentioned this before, but since my husband is the one who usually does the dishes, I get in trouble if I do not wash the microplane right after I do the garlic because it gets stuck in there and it's really gross. All right, so garlic is done. I did it again. Use the back of the knife, Karen, back of the knife. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna head into, I'm skipping the cilantro. I'm saving the corn till last so that I have some more room so I can just kind of push this cutting board out of the side. So next up, I'm going to do my ginger. And if you've joined me before, you know that I like to keep my ginger frozen. It makes microplaning very easy. And it saves me money because, you know, like you go to the grocery store and there's huge chunks. So let's see, 1 inch of fresh ginger. I will say I'm going to need to do more than an inch because this guy ends up really fine like snow. So I'll probably do a little bit more. Once again, using that micro cleaner. How's everybody else doing? Am I behind everybody? Are people like starting to cook and I'm like just slowly making my way through?
Oh, Crystal was asking, do you keep the skin on the ginger when you freeze it?
I do. You can see the skin on, and you can also see, I don't want to see, like right on the edge, it usually just kind of peels off. And so at the end, like I can just take that little bit of skin and toss it. But I also don't peel my carrots, so I'm not super fussy about textures this way.
So Candy says, yep, finishing the garlic, but pre-cut the corn, so she'll catch up.
Yeah, if I wasn't doing this with you guys, I would buy my corn already off the cob. I probably, if I was doing this on a weeknight, I would be using frozen ginger, frozen garlic, and frozen corn to be able to speed up this process. And I think if you did that, this meal could probably come together in about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
All those little short. So if you like this and you think it tastes good and you want to do it for a family weeknight meal, I think those things would definitely cut down your time. All right. I think that's probably enough. Pop this guy back in the fridge. Freezer, not fridge. All right. He tends to dice the ginger instead, makes a more powerful flavor. Yeah, you get those little bites. It can be quite pungent. Okay, so green onions are next. And if you've been with me before, I do not like my green onions raw, so I'm actually going to throw them in a little bit with before the end of cooking the seitan, which would be the chicken if you're using chicken. So that's something I don't like it as a garnish. I don't like the taste afterwards. It used to not bother me when I was younger, but as I age, having that garlic or onion, raw onion taste just does not fly for me anymore. Getting old, I need peels. Don't like garlic and onion raw anymore. Literally when we do, a meal kit, if it is a dressing or something and it has garlic in it and it's not going to be cooked, I just eliminate it. I'm like that sensitive to it. And at this point, I'm just like, nope, no thanks. I didn't the other night and I tasted it. Like I woke up tasting it. I was like,
yeah. My husband has a apnea machine and it's like the full face thing. And he says a lot of times if we eat something really heavy in garlic and then go to bed, like he's like, it's just all in his mask. And then he has to like alcohol swab it out. And he's like, oh, I was smelling and tasting that garlic all night.
oh my gosh, I never thought about that, but that totally makes sense. All right.
Yeah.
My kind of dead. They've been in the fridge since Wednesday. So I'm just throwing that in the compost. You're not the only one, Nona, who loves garlic. Like I belong to the Purple Carrot Facebook group. Yeah, I'm that dork. I also belong to a lot of the Trader Joe ones. And like everybody else is like, we quadruple the amount of garlic in our recipes. And I'm sitting there, even if it's cooked, I cut it in half. But I'm going by the book on this one because I'm with you guys. Now, my jalapeno did not survive the last few days. So I'm going to be using the shisto, I don't know if I said that right, peppers. Instead, I'm going to use quite a few of these because they are a bit milder. If you suffer from a mosquito bite, the garlic can repel them from biting you. They hate it. Well, I guess they're little vampires, right? They don't like the garlic.
That's true.
All right, this guy's into the side. I'll wash him off later and throw him back in. Waste not, want not.
And so yeah, just don't let Snickers get a hold of it.
I know. A lot of times people will just blister these and add a little sea salt to them. And you'll see them in restaurants quite often that way too, is like a little appetizer. They have some spice to it, but they are much milder. My favorite sushi restaurant, Tempura, fries them and they are delicious. Though last time I went to that sushi restaurant, I went with my mentor. It's our favorite one. It's owned by this guy who had a Michelin star at another restaurant, you know, really nice quality. We go for lunch because it's so much cheaper. And we went and we sat where there was a barrier and there was cups, like pint glasses stacked up behind us. And they went to reach and they knocked down on top of us. And literally my friend ducked, otherwise she would have had a concussion. It bruised her shoulder and then a piece of glass popped up and cut my shin. Not bad, but enough that I was bleeding.
Oh my gosh.
They did not fill out an incident report. They did not apologize. They just are like cleaning up the glass. I'm like, I'm bleeding. You don't want me to wipe this onto your cloth napkins? Can I have a Band-Aid, something to, you know, they never said sorry. They just comped our lunch and tried to rush us out of the restaurant. Isn't that
Yikes.
So bizarre.
Makes you wonder how often that happens if they were just like, oh, we don't want to fill out another incident report. Just go away.
Candy asked, green onion question. How far up do you use slice? How much do you use? Just white, green, or both, or all of it? That really is kind of a personal preference, Candy. The white is definitely more potent. Most people, when they garnish, use the green, like the dark green, and the white is what they're going to be sauteing with. If you don't mind that strong onion flavor, you could use the whole thing. And sometimes if I really want a pretty garnish and I'm having company over and I actually care what my food looks like, I might substitute chives since they're a little less flavorful. They don't leave that nasty onion taste in it. But if it's kind of the in-between, let's see my cutting board. Oop, popped it out of this tripod.
No. I think you turned us off. Let me put that one back in there. She's still there. Now now it's muted and no camera on I think the phone. Nope, the phone is still muted and no camera.
It's saying,
Oh, now we got the echo.
Hold on.
Let's see. Let me try that. Does that help? Oh, there's the camera back on the phone. And I think the sound.
Okay.
Yay.
Okay. It went into driving mode. and I couldn't get it off driving mode. I was trying to show you my onions. So I cannot, let me see if I can figure out. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. Yeah, when it's a driving mode, I don't know why. So if you're kind of in between, I would just take these nice dark greens, and if you're garnishing, and then be sauteing with the white if you're doing it that way. Yeah. That's what all that was about. Anyway, okay, so now, okay, good. I'm not touching it. Okay.
We did have someone ask. We did have someone ask if you can substitute leeks instead of onions.
Oh, absolutely. Leeks would be delicious. They're a mild flavor. That would be awesome. Just make sure you rinse them really good because that sand gets inside those little rings. So give them a really, really thorough wash. Like put them in the colander, separate, rinse them, because otherwise you're going to end up with grit in your food. Okay, so right before this, if you're like me and you hate peeling corn, I looked at America's Test Kitchen and they said to chop the bottom off, leave it husked, put it in the microwave for 2 minutes, that it should create enough steam that I'm able to slide it off. So we're going to try 2 ears of corn that way. And if it works, then I'll do the other 2. So I'm going to stick these in the microwave. This was like cutting edge knowledge right now, like literally right before the social. So we'll see. Devin, yes, sriracha is one of the things that they said that you could absolutely, we looked it up right before the social too, because I knew not everyone was going to be able to get their hands on it. They said red pepper flakes, tomato sauce, or miso, anything that gives that like edamame flavor, unami, what am I talking about? Unami flavor, that it's going to be a good thing for it. So while that cooks, they talked, like one of the biggest hacks that people like to use to take corn off the cob is to take a bundt pan and put the corn inside the little hole of the bundt pan and then slide it off. I do not bake, so therefore I do not have one. So what was suggested, and we're going to try, because, you know, ultimately it's the corn going all over the place, and I got a clear bowl, take the clear bowl, put something underneath so it's nice and sturdy, and I'll move the camera, and then put a paper towel folded up inside so I can kind of push it up against it. All right. Nona saying, be careful of that sriracha. It is spicy, and also hoard your sriracha because there's a shortage right now. So don't go willy-nilly with your sauce, with your sriracha. So this is going in, and they also said use a paring knife. So I'm going to grab a small knife. I got 2 size paring knives, so we'll experiment with both to see which one ends up. Is sriracha hot? Yes, sriracha is super hot. It's the one with the green screw on top. I have sriracha. This guy. It's the rooster one. And one of the reasons that it does, and I'll leave it out because my husband will use it on top of his, is that the fumes, they were shutting down the factory because it was the fumes. People in the neighborhoods were getting really upset about it. People actually have little keychains of sriracha, and it was very culty for a while, kind of like kale, where there were boxer shorts and all kinds of things with sriracha on it. All right, here goes nothing. This is going to be a win or it's going to be a fail, and we'll have to do it the regular way. I don't know.
Let's see what happens.
America's Test Kitchen has not done me wrong in the past. I love that podcast back in the day. And they actually, if you have Amazon Prime, the other day we were watching some of the shows, and we were actually made burgers, and like real burgers with real meat and everything. And it was delicious. All right. It's coming, the silk is coming off easy, but they said to kind of squeeze this bottom and kind of pull it all the way out. I mean,
kind of.
I still got some silks to deal with, but I think that may be a little bit of me. So let's see. I hate this part. And when they get stuck in your teeth, it's disgusting. All right, I'm taking you over to my sink with me so we can chat as I try to get silks out. And then we'll try the second one and see if I'm more successful with the second round. When I'm cooking and I need raw corn done, my husband's original career was an electrical engineer, so he's very detail oriented. And so I always make him do the corn because I'll know that he will sit there and get every little strand out. Whereas I will end up pulling it out of my food as I'm eating it because I'm not that particular.
Yeah, Sue said it's impossible to get rid of all the corn silk.
No. And you know, that's like the one thing I love, a good corn chowder. And I love to use the cob to flavor the chowder broth and everything, but oh, it's a pain. Okay, I think we're better off than we usually are. So I call it a pseudo win. Let's see what the second one does. All right, second corn, ready to go. This one, you can tell I went a little too far up, and I had a really, you can see it looks like I hacked it. Well, I did. I literally hacked it. So I'm trying to squeeze and pull it off. Let's see, maybe I can get my hands in here and maybe that'll help. This is better. This is better than the last one.
I think sometimes it depends on the ear of corn too, like if it was actually ready to be picked or if it was maybe a little less. Yeah, it's silk all over the place.
That beeping saying our rice is ready. Nice thing about the Instapot, don't have to do anything about it. It's going to keep it warm. If you didn't know, you actually do want to keep your Instapot or your rice cooker going to keep it warm because you can actually get some pretty bad food poisoning from rice not being held at proper temperature. That's why a lot of people end up sick when reheating Chinese leftovers, is if the rice wasn't held at the proper temperature. Yeah. And this is totally not related to corn, which our closing song is all about corn, just so you know. But I saw that, and I'm gonna try to get this off. So I'm bringing you back over to my bowl, and then I'll deal with the other two ears. I saw that there was an article today talking about chicken and how they are having issues with chicken being woody chicken. Has anyone encountered this? Anybody? So apparently when the chickens get grown too fast, like especially like traditional instead of like heirloom organic, you know, the fancy $15 chicken, that the tendons or something about the muscle growth. So I am going to call this part a win because this is pretty easy and I'm not making a huge mess. Though Snickers is going to be upset because there's not going to be any on the floor for him.
You better fling some over to the floor for him.
Or some for Snickers. And I think my big paring knife is doing good. Apparently, yeah, it's something to do when the chickens grow too fast with the muscular structure and it affects the quality and texture of the chicken. It's still safe to eat, but apparently is not as tasty. And so the recommended is if you do encounter that kind of chicken, marinate it in yogurt to tenderize it. And that's supposed to help. But they said if you are trying to avoid it, number one, organic chicken, because it doesn't have all those hormones and stuff, seem to be less likely, and also buy smaller breasts.
Yeah, some of those chicken breasts in the store, I'm like, I don't know what that chicken looked like, but that thing is like as big as my I know, right?
There's no way. There's no way. It's top heavy. It's like a little bulldog on crack, you know, it's like super top heavy. But they said apparently chicken legs and thighs and like, you know, other parts of the chicken is only the breast that this is an issue with. Interesting. So if I was making corn chowder, I would save this and throw it right into my broth too. Okay. Well, I'm just going to peel these the traditional way and take you over to the sink with me. I don't think that it made enough of a difference. We'll see when I do this. Maybe I change my mind. All right. I don't know but this was my job, like to snap the bean and to peel the corn and stuff. That was like make the salad. That was like set the table. Those were all my chores growing up.
Well, we always at least at our grocery store, they always have a trash bin. So we peel that stuff all off at the grocery store so it doesn't come home. It goes into their big trash bin. Not that necessarily helps with all the silk all over it, but
Well, it's less things you have to compost or put in the garbage.
Right.
I mean, I know I've mentioned it before, but we're very lucky to have, because our backyard is not super big because everything in the Bay is so expensive. Land is, and we live near downtown the area, not like a big town, but still everything's expensive. And so we have compost pickup once a week.
Nice.
And it's literally the size of our trash can. And so our trash can is tiny. And so and our recycle bins are huge. So it makes it where you have to, there's no way you could survive with like putting your garbage in it. Not enough. Now this is interesting. I bought all these at Whole Foods and the other were white corn and this is yellow corn.
I know, I was gonna say, I was like, wait.
I know. And I mean, I wasn't looking for one kind of corn or the other. It just happened that way. All right, let's get the silk off. You know, a lot of times I'll pick the silk off out of the bowl too. But one good thing about your grocery store having that is that you can check and see if your corn is dried out, because dried out corn is not nearly as good as yummy plump.
Yep.
And then my question is, those of you who grill corn, are you team husk on or off?
I will say when my husband grills it, he usually leaves the husk on, which I think is just messier, but I don't know if it makes it better or not.
No, either. I don't know. Okay, here we are. We're back to the bowl. Let's not hit driving mode. Just touch the tripod. All right. Here we go. Make a little hole. And then here we go.
I say Crystal says they grill the corn with the husk on. Candy says grilling husk on after you rub it with oil and seasoning. So Candy, I'm guessing you like take the husk off and then rub the ear and then put the husk back on and then grill it. Because I'm guessing you're not seasoning the husk. Yes.
Yes, I would think that would be a delicious way to do it. That's probably like the best of both worlds. I'm not doing a particularly great job here, but you know,
it works. You're not getting graded. Break up with perfection.
Break up with the perfect. And there are a few little silks in here, but you know, sometimes I even pick them out when I'm cooking. So we're just going to go with it. All right. This one seems to be the silkiest of the bunch. I splurged for the 4th of July. I'm going to move it up so you can see my face and not just the rings under my eyes from crying all day. Facialist is like, your face is turning really red, honey, every time I touch it. I'm like, it's because I cried all morning about the dog. I'm sorry. So we got the corn. I was going to say, what was I talking about before I talked about the tears? Corn. Oh, so for the 4th of July, I splurged and Purple Carrot had a 3-course vegan meal that they send you everything. And you literally, that's the only kind of baking I like to do, is like everything's already pre-measured and you just throw it in. And it was so good. It was so good. And it was so much fun to cook without the pressure of having to go to the grocery store and to have to measure everything out and just get lost in it. It was so much fun. I'm trying to think what it was. There was a corn salad, which is what made me think of it. There was a peach cobbler, not a cobbler. It was a crumble. And then mushroom burgers. And they were excellent. It was so good. Yeah, so fun. I like cooking that way. Definitely takes the pressure off. Okay, I'm gonna mix these corn up a little bit, pull out my paper towel, and I think we're almost ready to start cooking.
All right.
All right. Oh, let me see if I can get any more little hairs out. I wish someone had a super secret trick about this that I'm unaware of. But even America's Test Kitchen said that like the little devices that you get don't get it all either. So I'm not gonna buy a Unitasker, as Alton Brown would say, for it to only do half the job.
Right.
Okay, so all of our prep is done. I'm noticing my hair is looking super fly right now. It's all right. We're among friends. I'm gonna set to the side. We're gonna mix up into our jar, our spice sauce and our yum yum sauce. So we're gonna mix those up so that when we get cooking, because this is gonna be fast and furious with that cooking, it's gonna be both dishes going at the same time. Now, if that makes you uncomfortable and you're a beginner cooker, you can do them separate and then just like, you know, I would probably do the corn first versus the chicken. That way you don't overcook the chicken though. All right, glass jar, we got soy sauce. Now this is a sodium bomb. I'm not gonna lie. It is a half a cup of soy sauce.
I was gonna say, whew, that's a lot of salt.
It is, and I'm so glad that I bought a bottle last time we cooked together, because I have just a tad left and I have a full bottle. Now you can definitely get low sodium soy sauce, but this is one of the reasons I didn't salt my rice, is because I'm like, I'm gonna have plenty from this soy sauce. What's Nona saying about cutting sodium? Like I can see,
because there are the low sodium versions, and there's also tamari that doesn't have quite as much sodium that still has the flavor.
Nona, I had no idea you were such an experienced cook. I mean, and if you have not looked at her artwork when she posts in Sonder Club, holy cow, she did the gratitude tree the other day, and I swear, I feel like I need to be sending her mine to have it made and like pay her for it and frame it, because it's so beautiful.
She says there's 7 generations of cooks on both sides of her family.
Well, there you go. It's genetic.
So there you go.
There you go. How about art? Is there artists in your family as well? Okay, soy sauce. We got 3 tablespoons of the spicy stuff. If you're substituting red pepper flakes or whatever it is that you were substituting because you couldn't find this, make sure you add a little bit and taste. You don't want to throw all that soy sauce away. Now, I was pleasantly surprised that I was able to pick this up at Trader Joe's. It's a brand new product. I know not everybody has Trader Joe's, but I'm in California, so we got tons of them.
Happily, we have them in Colorado now. So it took a while, but.
Oh, we didn't have them in Texas. They have them now, but when I lived in Texas, they didn't have them. And my college roommate would literally visit her brother in LA and ship me things from Dallas into Austin so that I would have it. The sesame nuts. I don't even get them anymore, but they have like,
oh my gosh, those are so good.
Seeds on them. She would ship those to me. The cashews, the lemon chai cashews. Oh, so good. All right. One more of these. So you can see it is a paste, but it is a spicy paste. It is fermented. And so that's why they're recommending miso, because miso is fermented soybeans as a substitute. This is probably gonna cause me to have a coughing fit, just so you know.
Don't breathe, don't inhale deeply.
No, I'm all like, last time we were cooking, the garlic got to me. So, oh God, help me when I do this one. Okay, so ketchup.
You know, Amber says, put on a mask. That's what I was thinking too. I'm like,
1 tablespoon ketchup, and yeah, I'm using, I like, this is the kind that I use when I heat up frozen French fries. You know, don't do it often, but you know, sometimes you need some frozen fries and they're delicious. The other day though, at the beginning of summer, when we were doing serendipity as our theme, it was onion ring day, and I had never gotten frozen onion rings before.
oh God.
And so I brought them home, and it was really right after the social. I was like, this is so good. And we mixed up mayonnaise and ketchup, and we had dipping sauce, and it was just, you know, that's what spontaneity is all about. All the fun. All right, I'm adding my ginger. You can see that it is now melted in a paste, and it has a nice little corn here I'm going to get rid of. Throwing that in, and now it is half the garlic, so don't throw your whole garlic pile in there because some of it's going in the corn. And let's get this guy going. And then we're going to shake it up. I love mason jars. They're so good for so many things. These are the ones I use to mix up my chia puddings or overnight oats. I can do a big batch in less than 15 minutes and have breakfast made for the whole week in like 15 minutes. Do I do it every week? No. Should I do it every week? Yes, but it does do it that way. And then I can just keep frozen berries or freeze-dried berries and stuff on hand. And so it's a little bit different each time. So I like that. Setting this over by the oven so it'll be ready to go. Now we just need to mix up our yum yum. I love that they call it yum yum sauce.
Yes.
Okay. Because this is something that can be refrigerated, I am going to put it in a glassware. I know it's not pretty on camera, but this is real life. And so I want to be able to just shove this in the fridge when I'm done. Because I might actually end up making a salad in the sushi thing in a jar and use the sauce with some rice, some edamame, some carrots, some mushrooms and such, throw it in the jar and then put this on as the dressing, because I think that would be pretty tasty.
That would be good.
I want it ready to go. You know, it's kind of like making a big batch of rice so that you can use it in other ways. Be smart about it, you know. You don't want to, like, I enjoy cooking, but on weeknights when I teach Pilates, sometimes I'm not home till 7:30. And you know, I like to go to, I'm teach at 7:30 the next day. And so I don't want to be having acid reflux all night long. So I want to eat as fast as I can. Okay, now we got more ketchup. Another tablespoon of ketchup. Now it says mayo or Greek yogurt. I'm going to use Greek yogurt because I have it and it's going to be a little bit healthier. But you know, there's no judgment if you use the mayo. I think it probably would taste even better. Probably. Yeah. All right. How are our cooks doing, Maya?
Well, they look like they're still busy. Nobody's eating yet. So I feel like we're not
too far behind.
Not too far behind.
Perfect.
It's a little bit easier for them because they're not having to talk and show us what they're doing. But yeah.
I'm doing a little cleanup here, just throwing that corn in. And then I need a measuring cup for that yogurt.
Oh, Angela says she's making the yum yum sauce.
Perfect. Okay, so we're all about in the same place if you did not pre-prep. I thought about pre-prepping, but this time together is precious and we should enjoy it and be mindful and have fun together. So there you go.
That's right. Well, we're not trying to rush through it. There's no time crunch. It's not like we have somebody coming right over to eat it or anything. We're just here together, cooking together.
We're just here together, hanging out and cooking, which I love. This is my favorite social. Half the fun is to bond. Yeah, it's totally about the bonding. Some people are probably not even cooking, and that's fine too. I'm being lazy and using my half measuring cup and just kind of eyeballing my quarter cup because I don't want to wash another dish. We're getting real. All right. Gonna give this a little mix and give it a taste. Camera down so you can kind of see.
And yes, Crystal, it's absolutely fine to just be watching the cooking. You don't have to be cooking along with us, just watching and having fun. I think that is absolutely fine.
Absolutely. One of the ladies in the UK, like she watched it and then cooked it later. So she's like in bed, just chilling.
I think she's here with us because she had said earlier, you know, it's like 11 o'clock at night or something. So she's not cooking any dinner. Ooh, yep, she is here. Yep.
Nanny's here. Nice, yep. Nanny. Yep. All right. Are you cooking, Nanny? Oh my gosh.
You better get some water before you start coughing.
Oh.
Yeah, be careful when you eat that spicy stuff. Yeah, this is definitely a spicy. I mean, you know, it does say spicy. It says spicy garlic, spicy. So it isn't. It is in the title.
Mine, I'm gonna add more yogurt to mine, but I'm gonna leave it like this because my husband does like spicy. But
there we go.
Look. Okay. It's time to get mixing our chicken or whatever protein with that cornstarch. So I gotta grab yet another bowl. I know I'm definitely like, between the sunscreen she put on, she's like, you can go outside now. You're protected now. And I'm like, thanks for that. 43 lady, I'm gonna have sunspots. I like to be outside. I like to be inside too, but I like to be outside. Okay. Facials can make you feel so bad about yourself sometimes. I'm not gonna lie about that. Okay. I am gonna be true confession. My seitan, I just grabbed it yesterday when I was at the grocery store and I didn't realize it was 8 ounces. So you're gonna be looking at a much smaller portion for myself than what it is that you're gonna be working with. So you can tell like this is about half the size, which I'm cool with. And you know, it's fine. It's fine. There's 2 of us. We're not super big eaters. And if I am, I just throw some extra kimchi and rice on it and call it a day.
There you go.
If you're not familiar with seitan, it does kind of have that meaty texture, and it is basically wheat gluten. That's ultimately what it is. If you've ever had one of the vegetarian meals in Trader Joe's, like one of the Indian meals, ultimately this is it. I don't like the texture in theirs, but I do like this. I use it like as a gyro meat sometimes, and it's absolutely delicious. It kind of takes the flavor of whatever the marinade you give it. So it should be really good with this marinade because it's just going to soak it up.
Yeah, because it's the difference between that and the tofu, the thicker tofu. I mean, tofu is the soybean, right? And this is more of the wheat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see, like, it looks like little strips of chicken or beef.
Yeah. And yeah, it does sound like you're saying Satan, but not, it's not Satan.
It's kind of like when I talk about Spanish bars and I say tapas bars, everyone thinks they're topless. And I'm like, no.
You're like, no, I'm not saying topless. I'm saying tapas.
That's where we honeymooned in France and Spain, and we hit a lot of those. And I was young and didn't know that everyone else was drinking half pints. And I was wondering why I was stumbling. Everybody else was just fine. Turns out that's fine. Okay, so cornstarch. So I'm going to be using less because I have less. So I'm going to eyeball about a tablespoon in here, and I'm just going to give it a coat. Cornstarch just gives us a little bit, it just kind of crisps everything up. It's really good to coat tofu, I mentioned as well. You can use it any kind of beef. And I would say that I would salt this, but I'm not going to because we're going to add all that soy sauce.
Yeah, so we got plenty of salt in the soy sauce.
So yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to coat it so that there's not white. But you know, one of the things I did learn the other day on that test cook kitchen when we actually made real burgers is that you're not supposed to overwork your ground meat. That whatever you're adding in, because this one had bacon added in with it, and they said like you don't, like, you want to just very much barely do it and then put a thumbprint in it, and then when you cook your burger patty it pops up. I was like, oh my, who knew? I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
So I'm gonna get myself prepped because this is gonna be fast and furious with those two things going on at the same time with me trying to talk. God help me. Okay, so bringing that over. Thank the Lord, he's on my side today. And I'm gonna get my hands a rinse. I'm gonna take, my sauce is already over there. My bowl of corn is here. So let's see. I'm just gonna need, when I do the meat, I just need to be able to have that sauce ready to dump. So we're good there. So everything else is kind of for the corn, which is, we're gonna heat it up. We're gonna add butter, corn, shallots, remaining garlic, jalapenos, salt, and pepper. And so ultimately, all we need to do is take our cutting board over with our butter. And you do want a salted butter with this. If it's unsalted, do add a little pinch of salt. Can y'all hear the sirens? I don't know what's going on. There's a bunch of sirens going on.
No, I don't hear
them. And then I'm just double checking. The green onions are going in with the chicken. Everything else is going in with the corn.
Do we know how many cups of corn 4 ears is? Because Linda's asking. So I don't know. What do you think that is?
It's about 4.5.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Maybe it just depends on how much corn you like.
Yeah, I mean, that's the nice thing is like you season to taste. If you add a little extra corn, throw a little extra this or that into it. And then I am using the sesame oil to cook with. So I'm just I'll bring you guys with me in just a second. Try to get myself situated. Move my rice over to the side. Give you guys a view of the pots and pans. I think that was better. You're not going to see me so much, but that's not really the important part in the cooking social anyway.
Oh, Dawn's using Dawn's using plant-based chicken pieces by Daring. It tastes like real chicken.
Does it really? Because I almost did that and then I got scared.
I know. Yeah, sometimes I'm scared with some of that like Impossible meat and that kind of thing. I'm like,
Would you tell us which kind you're using? Because now there's so many. I was at Whole Foods and I was so confused. There were so many types and I wasn't sure. Though I saw that Trader Joe's is coming out with a ground turkey substitute, which I'll be interested to try out. Okay, so my oil's heating there. This is what I'm gonna put my corn in. I put the wrong oil in. Well, it's just gonna have a little sesame oil with the butter, so be it. You know, we're not gonna get precious about it. We're breaking up with the perfect. This is for us to enjoy and hang out, not to be, you know, super amazing. And then I'm gonna add my butter. I don't know what's going on out there, but there's a lot of sirens, and I live on a very quiet street.
That's funny because I don't hear anything.
Good, I'm glad. So oil's heated up, throwing in my faux meat substitute here. Gonna spread it out. Gonna let this kind of move around a little bit. Kind of nice that it has the oil in it so that it will not brown the butter. So I'm just melting. And then I'm pretty much throwing everything besides the green peppers in, right? And then this guy is just gonna start crisping up. I'm not even gonna pay attention. I'm gonna use my intuition here. I'm gonna throw in my shallots first, because you know, in cooking like shows and such, they always say onions and such are going to be ready in like 10 minutes, and they never are. And you don't want to add them at the same time as the garlic, and they always do that, and then your garlic burns. So I'm going to let these guys saute a little bit. It looks like we're doing good over here. Everybody got a good enough view? How's everybody doing? How's it going, Maya? What do you see?
Yep. I think we're doing good. Laura's got a thumbs up. Everybody else looks like they're busy at the stove cooking.
Now, because this is going to be the base, I am going to add one little pinch of salt to flavor those shallots.
Linda asks, would you use red or yellow onions in place of the shallots?
Yellow, because those are usually sweeter.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because you're gonna want, like, this is like a onion garlic fusion kind of thing. So I would go with the milder. Gonna give this guy a little shake. And I actually am gonna, because I am really particular about things being evenly browned, I'm going to get my tongs out for this so I can kind of flip things as I go so that they're evenly coated. Do you see people, Maya, with 2 skillets going? Are people still prepping?
I can't see their skillets. Oh, wait, there, yep. Okay, I see Laura's got 2 going. Like
this is so fun,
snooping in everybody's kitchen. How are you doing, Angela?
All right. My gas stove is super hot, so I have a hard time gauging where exactly it usually is. I usually cook on this burner, but since this is a smaller pan, I'm using this one, so I'm having to turn it up a little bit because I'm not getting any sear here yet. And my husband says I stir things too much, but so be it.
I know, I'm the same way. I always have to force myself to stop stirring things sometimes because I feel like I need to keep stirring. And it's like, no, you're making it worse. Stop stirring.
My dad made the worst scrambled eggs for that exact reason. Everyone was like, why are they so bad? And it's because he stirs them constantly. Okay, now remember, I don't like my onions raw, so I'm throwing the white parts in with this now. And give it a little toss. I did clean my kitchen for you guys today. Just so you know. It does not look like this always. I don't want you to think that I live in this like perfect little bubble, because it's not true. There was dog hair everywhere. A water gun when the dogs started barking, where we had to spray them to keep them from attacking other people and each other. Like all the things. All the things. Yeah. And then over on my counter is like also like where like you can't see my dining room table, but a lot of that junk just got moved over. So just so you know. Real life here. Ooh, this is looking yummy. All right. Just giving my fake meat a little toss around. Gonna set these guys over to the side. My shallots are looking good. I feel that it is at a point that I can throw those peppers in as well. So far, I'm not coughing, so that's a good.
Good.
The peppers.
I was gonna. I'd forgotten about the peppers. I was like, "What? Oh yeah, that's right. There were the. There's a lot of ingredients in this one.
There is a lot. There's a lot of prep for this for sure. Gonna throw the garlic in now. Saved it for a little bit so it doesn't brown, especially since it is that microplaned versus chopped, so it can get burned pretty fast. I'm gonna get it's smelling garlicky, and y'all, right now it is a spam call coming through on my phone. Let's I just want to send a voicemail there. Hopefully you guys are still with me.
Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, you're still good.
All right. You're starting to see on this guy that I'm getting a little color on some of the pieces. I'm kind of waiting for all the white cornstarch to kind of crisp up before I add that sauce in. My this is looking good. My shallots are softening. I'm gonna let this go. Throw a little more pepper in. I'm gonna let it go a couple more minutes, and then I'm gonna throw that corn in. We're in the home stretch, friends.
That's a nice thing is once everything kind of gets going, then it's probably just a pretty quick trip to get plated.
It is, and that's why I'm like, if you use frozen corn and like ginger and garlic from the frozen section that you just pop out,
yep,
you'd be good. Yeah, the shallots are softening. They still have a little bit of bite to them, so I'm gonna go ahead and this is starting to look good. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the corn in. The corn is gonna cook pretty fast, so I'm probably gonna end up having to turn it off and then finish this, but we'll see, because it is quite a bit of mass.
Yeah, that's a lot of corn.
It is a lot of corn. I feel like 4 ears is a lot. Well, a lot of the silks are stuck in the bowl, so maybe we'll.
Well, that's good. That's good.
I feel like this could use more butter, honestly. I'm not gonna lie about that. All right, this is nice and stirred up.
Oops.
I swear I did not have anything to drink before we did this. This is just me being clumsy. Just that kind of day, like I say.
I was gonna say, we always make Karen do these cooking socials because first of all, none of us want to show our kitchens, and second of all, I would be dropping things all over the place. So Karen gets the honor of being our Silk and Sonder cook.
I love it though. I love being with you guys. I'm gonna try to clean this off the floor real fast.
I'll say before Snickers comes in and licks everything off of there.
Yeah, because there's onions, shallots. Shallots are dangerous for dogs, so I want to pick this up real fast. All right, I got all the shallots. Snickers, come here, buddy. There's corn. Snickers, you want corn? Come here. All right, get the corn pieces. Get the corn pieces, buddy, right here. Licking off the floor. Hey, right there. See, right there. Get it. This is why you have dogs.
Yeah, cats are not nearly as helpful, I just have to say.
All right, I feel like we're pretty good here. I'm gonna throw that sauce in. One more little toss. And while I throw the sauce in, I'm gonna throw the green parts of my onions in as well. So they get a little cooked, but not as much as the other. I'm gonna turn the heat down on this guy, give it a little. Look at that. That looks really good.
Yeah, Crystal says it's not a cooking social until we get to see Snickers and he gets some yummy veggies.
It's so true. It's so true.
Look at him, he's so cute back behind you. He's just like, what else are you gonna drop? Is there anything else? You got anything else for me, Mom?
He's just as sad about losing his friend too. So.
Oh, I know. He's probably like, but I made a new friend.
I was good, Mama. You have to understand, Snickers, when we got him, was very, very aggressive. He actually sent my husband to the hospital for stitches and a stitch for biting him.
Oh
So
my
for him
gosh.
to be okay with another big dog and to snuggle and such was a really big deal. And he was so good.
Such a good boy.
You're a good big brother. Yeah. All right, buddy. We're just letting this boil down a little bit and let the corn finish up, and we're done. We're ready to plate.
Nice.
Oh, I forgot to add the onion bits in. This is going to be awesome.
Oh, Angela says
Angela's
she is.
plating.
Angela's plating now. Yep.
All right.
She's always a little ahead of us because, you're talking, but that's okay. Laura says all done. Had the pre-cooked corn, so that helps. Yeah, absolutely. I would definitely, if I was making this, I would not probably do the fresh corn.
If I wasn't on camera, I wouldn't either. I thought about it, but you guys deserve me cutting it off the corn cob. This is almost done. It does need a little more salt. I am gonna salt it. I know this is gonna have a lot of salt too, but almost there, friends. Almost. Yep, the little salt helped. I can give that about 30 more seconds. Let's give this guy a taste to see if we need to adjust any flavoring. Y'all, this one actually took a long time to do. Like usually we're like talking at this point and done cooking.
Yeah, it was this, like I said, this one had a lot of ingredients, a lot of prep. Is it good?
Yeah, this is good. This is really good. The last 2 months have been really good, like restaurant quality good.
Nice.
Still spicy. Still spicy.
She's like, still spicy.
Really yummy though. All right. All right, I think we're good to go. My kitchen is a disaster. It's a disaster.
That means you were cooking. That means you were working.
Yeah, I'm gonna add a little more yogurt to mine. Yum sauce to kind of break it down, but it also is going to be over the corn and the rice, and that's going to help with that spice as well, kind of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gonna grab plates and we're gonna plate.
And Angela says it's very good.
Which one does she like better, last month's or this month's?
What do you think, Angela? Now I'm trying to remember what was last month.
Last month was fried. Wasn't it like a kimchi fried rice or something?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there, because I remember there was some
rice, but it
was something like that. Where's my?
It was delicious. It was really good.
Let's see. Last month was the ginger chicken stir fry with summer squash.
It was really good, and you could really do that one up with any vegetable. All right, got my rice. This is going to be a carb load kind of day. Pretty much when I eat vegetarian, it pretty much is a carb load kind of day anyway. All right, throwing my corn on. It's a lot of corn.
Angela says both were really good, but she thinks she likes this one better.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Always feel bad because my husband doesn't get to eat till I'm done. I'm like,
You're like, sorry, you have to wait till the end.
I am going to take a little bit of the sauce, not too much since it is kind of spicy.
All right.
Put it over the top. I think he's in the garage messing with his bike. I'm trying to convince him. He doesn't want to spend the money on an electric e-bike.
Oh, right.
To the city, but I think he should do it because you're paying for the ferry anyway, and at least you're guys. So I think that I'm like, just do it. He never buys anything for himself. Okay, so I'm gonna mix up. Yeah, I mean, totally. Like he never does anything for himself. He should do it. I keep encouraging him to do it. So I'm gonna take a little of this and a little of this. Kind of mix it like that. And then because I'm not topping with cilantro, I am actually going to use a little bit of kimchi because that's, a good flavor. Top with a little sesame seeds. I'll show you. It's not gorgeous, but it's looking pretty yummy.
Looks good to me.
Looking pretty yummy.
Nice.
Open up my kimchi.
I'll say, I see Laura's trying hers. Laura, how is it? What do you think? She says thumbs up. She says it's good. All right. Awesome. And Candy, you said you plated too, right? What do you think? She's got a nice little bowl. My husband and I always joke about whether or not you should eat food in a plate or a bowl. And there's, if you know the comedian Patton Oswalt, he does a really funny skit about how Kentucky Fried Chicken puts all the stuff in a bowl, and how it's kind of like, oh, I've just given up. I'm putting it all in a bowl. So we have this, it's always a running joke between whether or not we're putting stuff in a bowl or a plate.
All right, here we go. Let's see. Was the effort worth it?
Was it worth it?
All right, get a bite with everything. Maybe not the seitan, like the spice, the sauce,
the corn, the peppers.
Those are good.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I know, I think I was just saying Dawn, I think it's Dawn Ann, is saying she's making hers tomorrow. She only had half a pound of the chicken substitute. And she did post a picture on Sonder Club of that chicken substitute. So you can go in there and kind of check that out to see what that's like.
I'm going to grab my water. Maya, if you wouldn't mind, we usually end up kind of having a little chat about our monthly theme. So if you would talk a little bit of inspiration while I grab the water so that I can down it as I go, so I don't have a cough.
Yeah, so hopefully everybody knows, I mean, now that we're coming into the home stretch of July, this month's theme was inspire. And so we've had lots of different socials where we've kind of asked you what kinds of things inspire you. Our weekly, we've kind of asked about places, people, things that inspire. So has anybody come up with any sort of new thing this month that's been inspiring to them? Anything that you want to share with inspiration? You can unmute yourself, you can come on camera, you can talk without being on camera, or you can just type in the chat.
Throw it in the chat.
And you can just throw it in the chat.
I don't have a zit. I think I have corn on my forehead.
Yeah. Sarah says she's still cooking, but it smells delicious. Karen's got corn all over her face and the floor.
What can I say? I'm a mess today. I've never given up on a dog, and I didn't give up on her. I just did what was best for her, but it sucks.
No, it's hard, but it was the best thing for her. She was a little too stressed out for your house at this point. So I know they'll find another place for her where she can work on her anxiety.
Yeah. What about you, Maya? Did you find anything like inspiring that you were able to kind of go through with?
New inspiring things. I'm trying to think. Well, I will say, I was trying to look through my tracker. One of the things, so last week, my feel, I want to feel was intentional and focused. And I wanted to spend some time with peers, community, that kind of thing. And I actually was at a conference Monday through Wednesday in Chicago. And it's one of those things that's just really nice when you can actually be with everybody who speaks your language, right? So you don't have to explain everything to everybody. So my main job is I work in K-12 education. I'm the assessment director. And so this was kind of like a lot of assessment directors and assistant superintendents and curriculum people and all that kind of stuff. And we, if anybody in education, you will know John Hattie. He was our keynote speaker. So that was super exciting. I got to be all education fangirl and get an autograph in his book and that kind of thing. But it's just inspiration. I think when you're with your people and everybody's kind of talking the same language and everything is just kind of, you get very excited to get inspired, which is also good to get inspired for the new school year, which starts August 9th. I feel like summer is over now.
Wow.
I know we start really early. So I had this conference Monday through Wednesday and then came back, and then Thursday, Friday was our principals, assistant principals kickoff meeting. And then Monday and Tuesday will be as well. So I was like, and summer's over for me. But yeah, so I just think sometimes being with people who are in the same field as you is can be very inspiring.
For sure. Definitely. I've been spending some time in the Pilates studio with one of my coworkers, and like us being like, okay, well, this is where we're at with our flow people, and how can we push them with keeping them safe? And like, will this be okay with their knee issues? And what about his arthritis in his foot? And, being like, okay, well, what if we move the box this way? And that does, when you try something new, it can be very inspiring. Nona's saying that she's been inspiring lately. A friend of mine is finally moving out on her own and started making a budget tool for her in Excel. I made it so she can fill out like a form in the right spots, and it would calculate how much per each pay period she would have to put aside to make it work. What a wonderful way to help someone.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Kathy's been inspired to try out finishing my degree. And now that my son is away at school, I think I'm enrolling in a class next week for the fall semester. Kathy, let us know what you enroll for. Definitely. Sarah says she's been inspired to do some more wet felting and needle felt projects.
Nice.
Sometimes I have many ideas. I get overwhelmed and I can't move forward on any of them. If you were at, I guess it was 2 weeks ago, my morning weekly setup, I said that I was actually going to learn how to put a different screensaver on my phone and on my computer. And I did actually choose some waterfalls, a fairy waterfall that we hiked in New Zealand, and put photos of each of those. I also spent some time doing some crafting, which I have a hard time finding time to set aside, and just being kind of aware. So I did a little walk around my neighborhood and like visited some new places, a new nail place, and things like that. And I found that to be really awesome. Plus, I'm supporting small businesses that have been struggling since COVID. So I felt good about that. Yeah. Let's see. Crystal says, I've been more inspired to spend time in nature, making intentional time to go and ground myself. Candy says, inspire was hard for me, but it was nice to think through where I feel inspired and how to create inspirational spaces in my home. Maybe the inspiration will follow. I think, we just have to make the effort. I did a couple online flower classes. And so I went to Trader Joe's and picked up a couple of their mini bouquets and just, took a few deep breaths and made a little arrangement. It's not perfect, but it was almost meditative. And it's nice to be able to have something fresh to look at in the house.
Yeah, so pretty.
Devin's been working on wedding planning. Woo! Devin, remember the wedding's one day, the marriage is the most important thing. So like, there are going to be things that go wrong and it's totally okay. Those are the things that you're going to remember forever. The things that went wrong that you're going to laugh and enjoy. For our wedding, I bought this wooden table for our cake, and the cake delivery woman would not leave it on the table because she said it wasn't strong enough. So my husband jumped up on the table and sat on it and said, if it can hold me, it's going to hold the gosh darn table cake. And so like, those are the things. So let's see what else. Anybody else?
Oh, Donnie said, been so inspired by the community during her first month that she upgraded to the annual subscription yesterday. So that's awesome. And has made great progress fighting clutter. I know we have lots of folks dealing with clutter, dealing with kind of trying to clean things out, to maybe make some better space, better environment. And I will tell you, we're going to talk a little bit about that next month when we get into our next theme, which I won't say because I'm always afraid to spoil it for anybody if you haven't gotten your August journal yet, but just know that we're definitely going to inspire will feed nicely into next month. I think
it will. We worked on that together. So that was Maya and Karen's little side project, those little weekly activities at the beginning. My next social is the setup on Monday morning. And then I also have the ritual annual coming up. What about you, Maya?
Well, I have Christmas in July on Tuesday night. So if you weren't able to make the Christmas in July a couple weeks ago with Jen O, I will be doing one on Tuesday night. So if you haven't signed up, please do, because it's a lot of fun, and we have lots of fun playing Christmas music, and you get to come up with your elf name, and very fun.
I'm really bummed I'm working because I'm assuming, what time is it at?
I think it is, let me see, it is at 5:30 Pacific, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time.
Exactly the time I'm teaching Pilates. Man,
Yeah.
that's going to be a fun one, but don't forget you can always get the recordings as well.
Yes. Yes. And now that you mention that, let me throw that link in there. If I can find my.
I'm excited about the annual talking about rituals because that's something I definitely struggle with. Because my schedule deviates day to day, depending on what my schedule for teaching and Silk and Saunders looks like.
So yeah, here's the link to the YouTube event recordings. Make sure when you click on that, that you bookmark that or you save that playlist because it's not published. So you can't search it later. So even if you go into like Silk and Saunders YouTube page, it won't show in the videos because it's just for Sonder Club folks. So make sure you click on that link and then bookmark it. Or I think there's a place where you can say something like save this playlist or something like that. And I throw it into Sonder Club every once in a while because people oftentimes are looking for it. But yeah, anytime you need a little inspiration, sometimes it's good to pop one of those on. It takes a couple days, and especially over the weekend, it takes a few more days for them to get those on there, but definitely in there and good to watch.
Awesome. Well, I guess it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah,
Laura, we're glad that you joined us and that it was inspiring. The recipes usually are pretty darn good. Pushes our limits a little bit, trying some things that we may not have tried in the past. So,
and it's also fun just to, it's fun just to watch people cook too, right?
Totally.
All right. So now that everybody's enjoying, here's a QR code. If you're not in Sonder Club, make sure that you get that scanned. I'm guessing probably most of you are. You will get a survey link in your email, or you can also scan that little QR code to take the survey. Let us know what you want to see more of. The cooking social is a direct result of people saying in Sonder socials, I would love to be able to have some sort of a cooking social, right? And then there's the QR code for that YouTube link that I popped in there as well. So I think we should be good.
Awesome. We'll lead out with Blake Sheldon's corn.
Oh yeah, and just a reminder from Nona to wash your hands and not wipe your eyes with your hands because you were handling spicy things. We don't need watery, sad eyes.
Very good point. Very good point.
Right.
Will do. All right. We'll see you next time at our next social.
Yep. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, you and your friends, 10 years old, sneaking beach nut on back in the road, sell it at market on Saturdays, Halloween getting lost with the girl in the maze, throwing cobs at the cards that are passing, sheriff comes out and you hide and you laugh and praying for the sun, praying for the rain, praying over muffins that your grandma made, and corn in the truck, corn in the field, corn in the bottom of a moonshine still, corn in a kettle, corn in a skillet, corn in a jug, hot damn, you can feel it. Corn for the chicken, corn for the deer, corn for as far as you can see around here. Leaning on a fence in a Carhartt hat with a farmer's tan, singing, man, look at all that corn. Yeah, all that corn. Yeah, ain't no wonder why you love it. You got your first kiss in a barn full of it. Drank your first beer, learned to play guitar at a turn roll party with a tailgate bar. Farmer's daughter and a John Deere man, saving your money, put a ring on her hand. Now you're raising more than a silver queen in a little farmhouse by a field of dreams. Corn in the truck, corn in the field, corn in the bottom of a moonshine still, corn in a kettle, corn in a skillet, corn in a jug, hot damn, you can feel it. Corn for the chicken, corn for the deer, corn for as far as you can see around here. From the Ohio River to the northern Platte, in a hole.